Good morning, guys. I was taking pictures. Lucky I looked up and saw that it was 29 after. Looks like we've got a heat wave coming today. It's up to 24 degrees outside. I'm excited. Alrighty. Welcome in. If you've never been here before, I've been, my heat is AC. I've got more sealed ones today, and I'm just going to throw 4 up there, and we'll do choice for the 4. There are some coupons in the show notes, and feel free to make offers. Feel free to request anything that's in the auction tab. I'm only going to run that stuff if somebody requests it. I will have a preview show for my antique show tomorrow. I'll have the preview sometime this evening. And then at 9:30 tonight, I'm going to be on the mini train of misfits that the Suburban Bish is hosting or producing or whatever you call it, conducting, I guess. And I've got a half-hour slot, and I'm going to do sealed vinyl, sealed LPs, and I'm just going to kind of fly through them pretty quick. I really don't know what I have. Hopefully there's something interesting that somebody will want, but I'm just going to do $3 starts on those. I've only got half an hour, and then I still have to figure out who I'm rating into, so hopefully by 9:30 tonight I will remember to do that. So I'm not sitting there at the end of my show wondering who I rate into, like some of the people I've seen on the trains. I will. You texted me. Oh, that's what that meant. Thanks, Bishy. I didn't. I fell asleep. I ate supper and fell asleep on the chair, and I saw that text this morning, and I thought maybe that was from that show that I restarted. So I'm going to go ahead and get started doing this. Hopefully it works. I don't know if you guys were on here last night, but the whole site melted down for a while. I just gave up. I think Kelsey gave up. I checked at one point when I woke up. Keith, go back to bed. Keith's probably ready to dive into the 65-degree weather and go shopping. I was happy it was 24 degrees out. At one point I woke up and I looked, and people were actually running auctions a few hours later, so it must have resolved itself, and hopefully this will work okay. But all right, here we go. And Sunday night I'll be doing glass negatives and magic lantern slides, if anybody hears into that. So we got a Ford car demo tape up there. I'm not sure what year it's from, probably sometime in the 90s. Don Sears, Joseph Cotton, No Touch the Style, and a Fiddler on the Roof cast recording. So that is running 48 degrees. Sorry, Keith. I hope you'll survive. It's supposed to get up to like 44 this week. We've got all sorts of stuff planned outside. This is a 2-tape set. Still sealed, the Cliftones, 1940s Volume 1, Holly Johnson Blast, and the Dirt Band, Make a Little Magic. And those ones are running. Good morning, Storage Unit Gold. Are you interested in cassette tapes, or did you find a whole giant storage unit full of them and are wondering if they sell on here? Push twangers, here we go again. Some people do better than others. I don't have any advice for you. I do cast recording, Red and Gold Fairport Convention. And this one's a 2-tape set. The Pirates of Penzance. And that is running. Mrs. Robinson's Daughter. Didn't know what that is either. Moni Love in a word or two. Synergy Metropolitan Suite. And Julica American or African Litany. And those ones are running. Mr. Bishy messaged me the other day and said something about a website. Am I supposed to go on a website? That's Bishy's advice. Do shows at an hour that does not suck. Keep that one over my head. Half the comments go over my head on here, especially in the morning. The Essence of Maynard Ferguson, Mike Johnson, Year of Mondays, that Latin-looking jazzy album, and Emerson, Lake and Powell, and that is running. So, Bishy, am I supposed to do something, or is he gonna do it? Or it was kind of a cryptic message that he sent, and I just said okay, and don't wake him up and ask him. I just didn't. Have I ever sold any? A couple. I usually sit here for about 4 hours and sell about $30 worth of tapes. Now I don't know. I've been doing 100 or 200 bucks a day with them, selling a couple hours a day, but I've got hundreds of thousands of them. And well, I have for some reason my price is $3, which I don't want because of the coupons for why did I edited that and it didn't stick. I've been running them for $4, but I give coupons for up to $2 off plus my reward. So some people are getting them. Some of them I'm only making about 40 cents on. Those ones are running. Steve Jones, Fire and Gasoline, The Church, touring Austria. Nobody's asked me to bundle yet. I or lately, I had shows in the past where they um, have asked me to bundle. Oh, Keith, I think the ticket would be on this. From what I've seen, I could be wrong. I think the ticket would be for the sellers to try to venture out into the social media world and get some people to come in here, because this category does not have enough organic support. Just people dropping by. I mean, there's good buyers, but like in the vinyl category, you've got people on 24 hours a day that are dropping in. Guilty Pleasures, Tropicana, whatever that is. No, this is Choice. I have show notes that explain it all. I say it over and over again, but there's only a few people here, and most people get it. And Bishy, my mod, she usually posts it up there. It's Choice. I mean, it all depends on what you find, too. The Best of Jaluka and the Saints Prodigal Son. And if that's running. If you found a storage unit of all like hardcore rap or death metal, um, you'd probably be doing a lot better than a mishmash of stuff. There, I want to see a fight in my chat at 6 in the morning between Bishy and Keith. Well, if you piss her off, Keith, then she'll get the craft to calm down, and we'll get to listen to her later while I sit here and take pictures of cassette tapes. So Foundation Flames, Barbra Streisand Christmas album, comedy classics, and another Barbra Streisand. And that one's running. Now today I can't do too much picture taking and listening today. I gotta get ready for tomorrow's sale of old crap. I don't know what that is. Hibara Jazz 3, Pedro Guzman, Jesus Jones Perverse, Hot Latin Rhythm. Welcome in. Just join me. We're doing choice of sealed cassette tapes. And the last one's going to be John Mayall, Wake Up Quick. Rocking a royal blue tank top. Junky's here. Finally, someone normal. Was that a jab at Keith? It makes these shows so much easier if the people in the chat start fighting with each other. Then I don't have to worry about talking or being entertaining. I'll just flip through them and push the button and let you guys duke it out. Cold Sweat, Master of Life, Ohio Players Fire, The Ultimate in Relaxation, Mountain Retreat, and the Oblivion Seeker, Spirit of America. I laughed at it, Bishy, yes. Once I heard the sound, I think what the deal was, uh, Butterfly has a cold, and I took her to the doctor, and I was sitting in the car, um, and I think my Bluetooth was connected to her car because it didn't play when you sent me the email either. Oh, they just gave her an antibiotic. She's just got a sore throat and just a cold, I guess. The Meatman War of the Superbikes. Ministry 12-inch singles, Roy Orbison, and Best of Manford Man. I showed it to Butterfly when we went to pick up her prescription, and she thought it was pretty funny. You have really outdone yourself this time. Thank you, Ghost. Takes the ministry. And judging from that video, I don't have a clue what you bought, Junkie, or why I would have wrapped it in shrink wrap. Somebody came into one of my shows last night saying how happy they were with something they got. Didn't remember their username one bit. I have a very poor short-term memory. So we have MC Brains, Miami Sound Machine, Men Without Hats, Pop Goes the World, and John Mayall, looking very much younger in that one. Oh, okay. That is running. I don't know what. Oh, we were watching Die Hard last night. We were watching Christmas movies, so we watched Die Hard, and I fell asleep. I think I fell asleep shortly after he got in the air vent, and which is about 10 minutes in. And then I'm thinking, boy, it's been a long time since I've seen this. Bruce Willis looks like he's young, and now he's got dementia, elderly. And then I woke up and we were watching Terminator. She was watching Terminator, the original one. And I'm like thinking, that looks like Linda Hamilton, but I can't understand what it is we're watching. So I had to ask, and she said it was Terminator. Willie Nelson, 9.5 weeks, original soundtrack. That must be Outlaws, Ride With Us, or Collide With Us, and Old School Boogie. And that's running. Well, the funny thing is, Junkie, you know, when I watched a lot of those shows or movies from like the 90s and stuff, thank you, Keep It Underground. You know, a lot of those movies, we went to the video store and rented the videos and played them on a VHS player on a big tube TV, like a normal size tube TV. So the picture was really crappy, and like watching Die Hard and Terminator last night, they were like brand new movies. They were in HD, and it was looked like a completely different movie. Oscar De La Hoya, the Narada collection, some sort of new age stuff. The Vacancies, It's the Water, and there's the Meatman, War of the Superbikes. And that one's running. Thank you, Ghost. Apparently that's punk. That was from 1985. So that one's like 40 years old. Rick Ocasek, This Side of Paradise. Wow, you were sleeping. I'm going to have to Google that one. Helen Merrill, Clear Out of This World. Some sort of polka up there. And Mystic Moods Orchestra Extensions. And that is running. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember it existing. I couldn't tell you much about it. It was weird. Terminator seemed like a much more serious movie last night when I woke up and it was on. I asked Butterfly if she thought she'd ever live to see the day the Terminator would come true. Not the time travel part, but the whole artificial intelligence taking over. So we have Kathy Mattea, Willow in the Wind, Murphy's Law, The Mossy, Point Scene Money Gone, and that's George Michael up there. Those are running. And you keep it underground. Which one, Bishy? Did you get that one right? You just said screw it. Supposedly there's some sort of AI programs you can use with whatnot too. I haven't looked into it. I've just heard people talking about them. New Model Army, The Love of Hopeless Causes. New Riders of the Purple Sage, Take a Red. Mike and the Mechanics, Word of Mouth, and the OJs from the Beginning. She's easily amused, Chunky. Bishy tries to guess which one it is, and we count belly buttons. That's our excitement here. I try to guess in my head too. Most of the time I'm right, but sometimes I'm surprised. Ivory Tower, Heart of the City. Paralyzed Veterans, Home for the Holidays. And Harry Connick Jr., 25. Nevada Beach, I don't know. Let's see. I think he does. Yes, he's shirtless under there. So I think we got one. Hey, Dawn. It doesn't take much to amuse us. What are you up to today, Dawn? Is today one of the days you go into the city? I'll throw that over there with the Christmas music. Harriet, Woman to Man. Manhattan Transfer Extensions. Naughty by Nature. I guess it's icons or two cons. I don't know how they pronounce that. Onslaught, In Search of Sanity. And that's running. Bishy, that was probably the only Christmas show you've seen. Thank you, Skaboom. Apparently, that's Harriet Roberts. Acid Jazz is what they're saying. Is that Naughty End album? Naughty by Nature. I don't know how they pronounce that. Two cons or icons. And we'll add Olivia to it and run that again. Oh, thanks, Bishy. You don't have to bid. Just tell me you want something. Are you allowed to watch Whatnot while you're traveling, Dawn? Or does he make you drive? Lyle Lovett, Joshua Judge's Ruth, New Riders of the Purple Sage, Midnight Moonlight, John Cale. I tried to play that card, Dawn, intentionally, and but I think I once grabbed the dashboard when I saw the white line at about to the left side of me. So now I get to drive all the time. That looks like a promo. John Cale, Tony, House of Music. And that's running. It was involuntary. She grabs shit all the time. I hit a crack in the road and she grabs the arm thing, the handle thing above the door. And her car's one of those ones that beeps. Yeah. Her car's one of those ones that beeps if you cross the line. Well, I don't know how. I should look it up sometime. I don't know how they program those because it does it when there's no lines. Sometimes it does it when you don't cross the line. So her car beeps and she grabs on with both hands a lot of times. Tower of Power, Two Live Crew, Patti Smith, and the soundtrack from 30 something. And that is running. My plan of winning the lottery so I would have a chauffeur to drive me around has not panned out as I had hoped. Mozart. That's Arthur Fiedler, and the Boston Pops, and a bunch of other orchestras. It's Billy Squire, Emotions in Motion. Do you have to remind her that she's the luckiest person in the world, Ghost, or does she just know? The Sound of Blackness, The Night Before Christmas, a musical fantasy. Soul to Soul, Volume 3, Just Right. And those are running. We'll add the Sounds of Blackness to the Christmas pile. And we have a sealed Perry Como Christmas album. Nicholas Nickleby, original TV soundtrack. Don't know what that is. That's Sonny Stitt. And that's the new Two Live Crew, Back Your Ass for the 9-4. Back at Your Ass for the 9-4. So that is running. Oh, Bishy. I'm the lucky one. Butterfly is wonderful. So we have the Patti Smith Group, Easter. To be a holiday album. Conway Twitty, Greatest Hits, Volume 2. Irma Thomas, The Way I Feel. And the Cynics, 12 Flights Up. Hey, welcome in. If you just joined, we're doing choice of sealed cassette tapes right now. And those are running. I don't think it's really an Easter album. I don't know why it's called Easter. The second track is Space Monkey. Oh my. The last track on the first side has the N-word in it. So I don't think it's a Resurrection of Jesus themed album. Loverboy. These Immortal Souls. I think that's the same Sonny Stitt just had up there. And Jerry Lee Lewis, Greatest Hits. So, Bishy, if you answer me, I don't remember what you said. You'll have to tell me what I'm supposed to do about the phone thing. I didn't know if that was something I was supposed to do something or whether he was doing something. Or, you'll have to let me know sort of somewhat soon. I mean, not like this morning, but because I'm going over to that town that has a store on Tuesday. And if Mr. Bishy can do something, that'd be good. So I don't have to go into a store and so he can get some credit. But, okay. So you have Severed Heads, Super Cat, Sugar Cubes, and Skeeters, Wine, Women, and Walleye. That was before God, Guns, and Trump. That was Wine, Women, and Walleye. Oh, that's sweet. Which one, Bishy? Thanks, Ghost. Takes number one. The person that put Sugar Cubes, were you just guessing or were you interested in that one? The next one is going to be you're interested. Where'd it go? I'll leave it up there for the Sugar Cubes. We're doing choice of the four. These are all still sealed. That is Roaring Lion. And then we have Rick Springfield, Rock of Life, and Rose Royce. And Sonic, there are some coupons for $1 and $2 off in the show notes too. And those are running. Nope, it's choice. Do you want me to run them again? Okay, that is running. good, good guess, Junkie. See, we're going Sonic. We're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 just out of ease typing. But I'm gonna assume you wanted the Sugar Cube since you asked about it. All right, we got Simon and Garfunkel in Central Park. Junkie's batting 1,000. There's another Sugar Cubes. It's it. Nobody's even bidding yet, Chunky. She's going all full blown psychic now. The Moody Blues, The Other Side of Life, and Mick Jagger, She's the Boss. And that is running. So choice of 4. Oh, Junkie's now batting 500. That was like swinging at a pitch that bounced halfway to the plate. No need for it whatsoever. Spencer Davis now. Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. And Traffic Jams 2000. And the Chi Lights greatest hits, Chi Lights, Chi Lights. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm sorry, Bishy. I could sing like Ohio does during her shows. I don't think that would get me any more bids. Number 4. Thank you, Cold Crush. Or Cold Rush. No, you're Cold Crush. I've got an eye appointment on Tuesday, so hopefully I'll get new prescriptions and I'll be able to read the stupidly small font that they have on here that all the kids probably think is just fine. I could blare it on Spotify for you. Classic Fantasies, Anagama, Rainyard's Grin, I don't know what that is, Dust Devils, Outlaws, Soldiers of Fortune, and the Jake Owls Band Showtime. Those are running. Oh, I could blare it on full full volume, and she couldn't hear it from here. Silent Joy, that's that Onagama or whatever, I don't know how you pronounce that. Ray Stevens, Ahab the Arab. No. Another Ray Stevens and Muddy Waters, and that is running. Some of them I had names for before, and one of them was the Frank room. I just say it's the room where I take pictures now, because I've got this thing. I just call everything Frank, like Maria's Miscellaneous Frank. But I have this. Well, the bench that I sit at for my Thursday shows, that's got that barnwood in the background. That's a big, like, 2x4 and plywood conglomeration that wraps around that I sort stuff and work and take pictures and all sorts of stuff on. I don't know what that is, Notorious something. But I started calling it Frank, that whole conglomeration, because my children could never figure out what I was talking about. And I would have to describe like a paragraph of text to tell them that conglomeration that's made of wood where I take pictures that takes up half the room when I would send them down to get something, or they'd ask where something was at that was on it. So that is downy mildew. Some kind of Tchaikovsky, Joe Diffie, and Notorious up there. And that is running. They're adults now. I'm old. I gotta go out here and cough. I don't think they can either, Junkie. They're probably in therapy, and fuck, they're not many. They've both been bigger than me since they were about, I don't know, 11 or 12 years old. My oldest was he's probably, I don't know, 6'2", 300 pounds, something like that. He's a big boy. I love that I get laughy faces at the thought that I might have reproduced. Dr. Bombay, car crash rage. Seasons remembered, chamber music favorites, Judith Lynn Stillman and Friends. Well, if you've been looking for one of those, today's your lucky day. Elvis and Bill Monroe. And that is running. A New Human Vibe. Huh. I don't know what to think of that. Welcome in, Aunt Guz, or Aunt Goose, Aunt Gooston, Aunt Goose 10, Aunt Guzton. Touch of Art, Ferrante, without Teaker. Greatest Hits of the Outlaws, High Tides Forever. Diamond Rex, Rated Rex. The case is a little bit cracked in that one. Mother, father, sisters, brothers, all in the family. And that's running. Georgia Kelly and Dusan Bogdanovic, A Journey Home. Apparently heart music. Bruce Springsteen, The Wild and Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. Foreigner, Agent Provocateur. Don Dixon. Yeah. Vichy. They don't like me either. No, I don't know if they don't like me. Their mom doesn't like me, so. But that's okay, because I don't like myself either, Vichy. Yeah, we had the one stayed with us during COVID. He has a genetic issue, and he stayed with us for a year while we just locked down so he could avoid getting it. That Anagama, Silent Joy, Victimone, On the Streets Where You Live, Kristen's in the House, and that's a holiday concert, some sort of Christmas, and that's running. Are you selling or crafting today, Kristen? So far, the most exciting thing I've heard is Dawn's going to be chauffeured to a Victorian Christmas fair or something. I did have a stack of Christmas CDs last night. Christmas Memories, The Fireside Carolers, HR Buzz featuring Lit and Gate on the front line. Oh, Just the Tip has an early lead in the Best User Idea of the Day award. Jerry Lee Lewis and Sonny Stitt. And that's running. Junkie, they're not technically streets in Pennsylvania. They're just roads. Butterfly has about as good a memory as me, and I told her we're not too many years away from people finding us just wandering half dressed down the street with no idea who we are or how we got there. Thunderhead, behind the 8 ball, the treacherous 3, old school flavor. Hits to remember, you get 2 tapes there. It's sealed. And Dada Puzzle. And that's running. I was the first cat bishy. Thank you, Cold Crush. My grandfather on my mother's side would do that. He lived about 5 miles from where he grew up, and he grew up and was at home for 18 years or whatever. But then he lived another 60 or 70, I guess 70 years at his new house. But he always just, when he got Alzheimer's, he just would take off walking and say he was going home and try to walk to his old house, which was not there anymore. Knowledge and Innocence, Terry Scott Taylor, TNT Tribble, Red Hot Boogie, El Kabong, Trotsky, Ice Pick, and Marty Stewart, Tempted. And my grandmother had some sort of dementia on the other side, so I just hope when my dementia gets super bad, it's not one of those ones where I start seeing scary things. Oh my. Yeah, I think, which I was still pretty young, so I wasn't real interested in the fighting with their family, but I know that was on my grandfather's side. That was a kind of a fight between the kids who had to take care of them and babysit them because you couldn't leave them alone. Marty Stewart, Paul Simon, Majesty of the Organ, and Lyle Lovett. And that's running. I can't remember what my grandma was actually diagnosed with, but it was some sort of something similar to Alzheimer's, but that wasn't what it was. And yes, she knew she had it. My grandpa that had Alzheimer's, he had no clue. He was just, which he was one of those people that would get up and he would start drinking. But he only drank beer, so it wasn't like he was just ever got falling down drunk or passed out. He just would drink, so he was kind of numb. The Dickies stuck us over Disneyland. Katie Lang, Ingenue. Too Much Joy, Son of Sam I Am, and another Lyle Lovett. And that is running. Junkie, I can't believe everybody was so good last night during the Christmas show. Unless I was just missing it, I had all those organ tapes, and I didn't see one rude comment. I was both proud and disappointed in you guys at the same time. There were so many openings for perverted comments. That's incredible hair. Tony Terry, Ted Taylor. Let me just uh, Thelonious Monster, Stormy Weather. Dawn. It doesn't matter when it is. There's a certain contingent of viewers on here that are always perverted, no matter what. And that's running. I wasn't expecting the comments to come from you, Dawn. Mr. Bishy was even in there some, and he was behaved. Well, you didn't miss much, Junkie, because Whatnot melted down, and I had to stop. We sold them all, and they were all the ones you wanted. Toto, Kingdom of Desire, Simon and Garfunkel, Greatest Hits, Genesis. Apparently you can't say bastard. Oh, there's another lull of it. That is running. I just learned on NPR last week or the week before that Toto was not named after the dog. All you people that enjoy NPR, enjoy it while you can. They're talking about pulling the funding from it. You don't enjoy NPR? What do you listen to in the morning? Everybody wants to shag. The teardrop explodes. I mean, before this. Sound of Philadelphia. That's a compilation. Glenn Ricks. Yeah, they've got news on for 4 hours in the morning. That's actual news. It kind of repeats itself after, I think at 7 it repeats itself. Jimmy Roselli. And that's running. Kristen likes her news biased. I have friends that they are hardcore. And when I say hardcore, I'm like, it's on 24 hours a day. And they probably sleep with it on. Fox News viewers. We argue about stuff until they don't want to argue anymore. And it's all good, lighthearted arguing. But I told, what's that lady's name on the 5? Jessica Tarloff. I told my friend, when we argue about something, I said, just listen to whatever Jessica Tarloff says, and then you know what's the truth, and that's running. Because you can't have Jessica Tarloff saying one thing and the other people saying the opposite, and both of them be true. And he said that she was the one that was lying, and that was a good show, and that it would be better if they got rid of her. Yeah, I don't know why that was blocked. I think the BBC probably. Uh, yeah, you can't say BBC. I I don't think. I don't think the censors were thinking of the British broadcasting when they. I think they're more big black cock is probably why that's a no-no on here, which is stupid. Lucy Brown, Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, Run DMC, Crown Royal, and Eric Reed. It's all right to swing. So those are running. And it's funny that Dawn's the one that gets censored for that. Big Black Cock, I believe, is probably what they're thinking of, that why it's censored. Or is that the only thing you knew it meant, Kristen? Kristen's like, what else does it mean? Thank you, Cold Crush. What is it? The British Broadcasting Company or Corporation or something? Run the Rainbow. There's the Rainbow. You get the Rebel Rousers Best of Southern Rock. Welcome to the Underground. A town south of Bakersfield. And those are running. Does Mr. Bishy have to work on the weekends? Good guess, guys. Thank you, Ghost. When you won, okay, thank you, keep it underground. It all goes in the same envelope. I don't know why Ghost's name was down there. Oh, Ghost was just guessing. I get it. That must have been what I was looking at. All right, they all go in the same envelope, and I just pull them when I look at the sales anyway. But so keep it underground. Thank you. Dawn, I heard. I was playing on my stock apps when I was waiting for Butterfly yesterday, and I like to trade Ford. I just keep trading it when it goes up and down because it's never going to crash completely. Linda Ronstadt, Rimsky-Korsakov, Ritual Tension must be a double album set, and Sushi and the Banshees. And that's running. Well, there might be another one here at some point. But Dawn, I was looking at my Ford thing, and the news for the day was that they said that they think that Trump's gonna cancel the all the electric contracts with the Postal Service, where they were. Thank you, Kelsey. Where they were gonna make all the mail trucks electric. Oh, that had multiple bids, so we'll leave those up there, and we will add Greg Allman to it. And that's running. Dawn, I used to work at the post office. I used to deliver, and but I haven't. I mean, other than shipping a ton of crap every day, I haven't had much interaction with the postal service. But my uncle, he delivers our mail here, and he's got the old contract route that I had. Batman and Robin soundtrack. Scared 'em Crew. Scared from the Crypt. Mac Mall. Immaculate. And Barry Maguire, Eve of Destruction. And those are running. And he said the other day that they were going to start delivering on Sunday. And they haven't been around here. And he said that there's actually the town that I'm, quote, in, that I'm 12 miles out of, thank you, Cold, is only about 4,000 people. All the towns around here, that's about the biggest town for 20 or 30 miles. But he said all the other little towns, they have year-round Sunday delivery. Dawn, I will try to remember that, but I probably will forget. If you text me, I'll see it and remember. But he said that the only reason they're doing that out here in the country is because of Amazon. He said that's all they deliver is Amazon packages. The Amazon truck comes in and they have 4 carriers that come in and work all day Sunday. So Amazon's already getting that discounted shipping rate, and then they're paying millions and millions of dollars every weekend to have special delivery. Super Rare Disco, Sister Ray, No Way to Express, the South Soul Orchestra Christmas Jollies, and Tony Joe White. And those are running. Which he had told me at one time that they had told him that Amazon pays about $2 a package with their contract, no matter what the package is. So if they deliver a cassette tape that's in for Prime, that's $2. Or if they deliver a big screen TV, that's $2. Don't know how true that is, but that's what he said that they told him at one point. Earl Thomas, Mantis, Winds of Change. The cellophane is tearing on that. The Kinks, Phobia, and Brownstone. And that is running. Okay, I'll check it out. Gene Krupa, Drummer Man. It's like DoorDash with your Amazon packages. Yeah, I don't like that, Ohio. That George Russell septet down there, and that's running. Every time that happens, I wonder if that's actually somebody delivering it or whether somebody got the wrong package and just figured out where we lived and are dropping it off. Thank you, Danny. Which one would you like? Alrighty, thank you. And if you just joined us, Danny, if you find one you want, you can make it easier and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Which I'm told is not the way everyone else does it. But sorry. But I figure that they're probably catering to Amazon like that, because they're probably figuring Amazon unless they cater to them and give them those super deals, they probably are going to end up taking over the delivery of all these rural routes. People will just start sending stuff through Amazon because they already ship so much. So Kinks, Chris Kane, The Wipers, and Charisse. And that is running. And Dawn, that was weird. Did you delete your comment? Your comment did that thing where it just disappeared. It's gone from both my devices that I've got open. Interesting. Don't say PayPal, PayPal, PayPal. There's a fat beach. Anybody want a fat beach? I'm gonna stick a fat beach in everybody's orders. The Connells Fun and Games, David Sanborn with a Cracked Case, and The Seductive Sea of Tranquility. And that's running. I'd like to. What? Wait, what? I don't know what you're doing, Bishy. There's another fat beach. They're not all together. They're just everywhere. We should have been counting them. The Connells, Leroy Parnell, Singles, original motion picture soundtrack. I have no idea, Bishy. And John Seri, Midsummer Catalog. And that is running. Show me the tape. Show you what tape? The Fat Beach tape? I don't think I've ever seen Singles either. Thank you, Kelsey. Takes the Singles. Oh, look, it's got Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Paul Westerberg, Chris Cornell, The Love Mongers, Mother Love Bone, Soundgarden, Mudhoney, and Jimi Hendrix. Huh. It's a grunge classic. Well, I wish I had as many of those as I have Fat Beach. Is that what you wanted to see, Bishy? So there's two tapes? Why? You're confusing me. Oh, I had a whole bunch. I just haven't thrown them up there. They're everywhere. I mean, I can see what I'm pulling out of the box here. And when I see a Fat Beach, I've been sticking it over in the other box. There's 4 belly buttons on each. Are you serious? Oh, there is. Oh, well, that adds our belly button total up real quick. That Voivod Roar. Yes. So we're at the 9 belly buttons. I thought, Bishy, if I start throwing every Fat Beach tape I find up there, you're gonna lose count. Screaming Trees, Uncle Anastasia, and Pitch Shifter versus Biohazard and Sweet, whatever that roar is up there. Does 3 have a belly button? Yes, it does. It's a well, I don't have my loop over here. I think there's a belly button on that one too. Is there a belly button on that little guy? What is he? Number 1. Do you know what that is, Kelsey? Or are you just taking a chance that that's going to be either valuable or amazing music? You know what it is. So that was an informed purchase. Thank you, Kelsey. I'm not judging her. I was just asking. I have no idea what it is. Some of these are just incredibly rare, and some of the ones that don't get bids, they're just things you can't find them. And I didn't know if she even knew what that was. Oh, that had multiple bids, but was that the one you guys were bidding on? Bishy, you got me derailed on the belly button thing here. I'll stick those back up there in case somebody wanted one of those. And we're going to add to it the Lost Mixes, Ecstasy. I'll run it again. Yeah, no, I was gonna congratulate her, and you guys are. Let's see, what does she get? Silver rewards tier, 10% off your next $5 purchase up to $1,000. 20% off your next $20 purchase up to $1,000. 15 and 15% off your next 10 plus purchases up to $1,000. Plus, you get the Tier 2 Avatar badge, and all you have to do is spend $100 or more and purchase 5 products, and you too can have those savings. I was just curious because I couldn't remember. I was going to be a big smartass and see how many I could put in there. Because apparently you can have unlimited coupons in this season's reward program. And if you're a seller and you haven't done it, see what happens if you just have like 50 different coupons for each level. That's interesting. Vertigo. 2 Simple Minds up there on top. And Patty Lupone Live. Yes, use your coupons and use your rewards points. I think it's a pretty safe bet there, Bishy. Thank you, Ganar. John Sari, Planetary Chronicles, Lord Melody, Precious Melodies, Lost in Space soundtrack, and that's a cardboard one. And New Riders of the Purple Sage, Before Time Began. And that one's running. Top 10 reasons to listen to classical music. An American Tale. More Jaluka. Bishy. Is that 2? And that is running. Everybody's going to think you have a belly button fetish, Bishy. That's okay, though. You got to have a fetish. I guess belly buttons is a pretty tame thing to have a fetish for. Jean-Michel Jarre, Rendezvous, Mannheim Steamroller, Christmas in the Air, Glenn Frey Live, and Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat original Broadway cast. And that is running. Well, Bishy, what you got to do is you got to get on Facebook groups in your OnlyFans account for your fellow belly button fetishists and get them over here and say that vintage cassette tapes are a ripe source of belly button viewing pleasures. Papa Bear and Cool Breeze and Baby Wise Permanent, John Felice and the Lowdowns, Nothing Pretty, Donnie Iris, we got one back there. Oh, one's obscured by the guitar, but one is visible. I think that's 10. O.V. Wright, Pledging My Love. And that's running. Oh no, we start over every day. It's hard enough to remember every day that Bishy has this fetish and that we need to count them. I don't think we found... Did we find any belly buttons last night in the Christmas music? Christmas music is not a good source of belly buttons. I think that's a kid's book, audio book. Billy Joel, A Stranger, Bill Haley in the comments, and Etta James. And that's running. Anyone Can Whistle. That's some sort of cast album. Another Mannheim Steamroller. That is a Fresh Air Christmas. If you already had Christmas in the Air and need a Fresh Air Christmas, that's what that one is. Crescent City Rhythm and Jazz Band and Johnny and the Hurricanes. Those are running. Oh, Bishy, it took me like 2 minutes to figure out what that comment meant. Yes. And you know what, Bishy, when I saw those last night, I was thinking, I cannot believe it was like all the organ titles. I cannot believe no one is saying anything about those faces. It blew my mind. Especially because I think Ohio was in there. Yeah, she rated me. she was having a good old time in her show, and then all those O faces, and she didn't say anything. Glenn Fry, Glenn Jones, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and what was that? Midnight Oil? Yeah, Midnight Oil. And that's running. And the one that was particularly whatever, had what, 3 Christmas ornaments or something with the wise men, and we're all making that face. Thank you, Cold. All right, let's do the one with the pre-bid, so we don't forget about it. And this is a KMFDM money. It is still sealed with no drill holes or cutouts. So there it was, and that one's running. And that was in the pre-listed stuff. Bishy, you don't have to keep stuff to yourself. I'm not worried about offending people. If people are offended, they can just not come. Because this is a lot different than a lot of other places selling. Yeah, I just assume I piss people off and offend people every day. Otherwise, I would have 100 people in all my shows. But there's people that, thank you, guys. There's people that like to be offended and like to be offensive. And you can joke and joke about the orgasmic look on Halloween or Christmas decorations faces, and that probably appeals to a certain group of people as much as it puts a certain group of people off. So that's a Juliana Hatfield 3. There's another Murphy's Law. This is Casey and JoJo. And that's a Dino Swingin'. And that one's running. Welcome in. If you just joined me, we're doing choice of sealed cassette tapes right now. Rerun. All right, that is running. Thank you, Kelsey. Kelsey, did you reschedule your show? I guess I could click on it on my computer. Barbara Streisand, Higher Ground. Tony Bennett, The Hollies. Today at 4 p.m., Kelsey is selling sweaters and jackets. tomorrow she's doing sterling silver rings, and Friday I'm gonna try the cassettes again. Well, was that that was a cassette show last night, right? That got interrupted by the glitchery. So those ones are running. I didn't reschedule my Christmas record show either. I'll have to do that later. Flora the Red Menace, some sort of cast recording. Lloyd Price, Folly, 7 years ago, Directions in Smart Alec Music, and The Fall Seminole Live. And those are running. Thank you, Gunnar. Which one would you like? Greatest Rock, the 80s, Volume 7. Prince, The Beautiful Experience, C.C. Peniston, and Messano, however you pronounce that. And that is running. The best of the Mills Brothers. Oh, Junkie Cat, I'm everywhere. I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Twitch, and Facebook, and Threads, and Blue Sky. And I make a piss poor effort at all of them. So, Mills Brothers, Michael W. Smith, Passion Flute by Stephen DeRuby and the Rivieras. And those are running. Welcome in. We're doing choice of sealed cassette tapes. It's mostly just products that I list on my website that I put on there. And I do this multi-streaming, which I don't think is really bringing in any. Actually, there are people that I have seen like these videos. Notifications pop up when I'm selling, at least on YouTube, that people are interacting with the videos, and on Facebook. Well, that is Raw Blues Volume 1, Brenda Russell, Paris Rain, Material Issue, Destination Universe, Bud Shank. I've never posted anything to TikTok. Nobody is currently watching my Twitch stream. It's hard to believe. You eat, sleep. I was really surprised that Butterfly was as nice as she was the night I fell asleep with food in my mouth. I figured I would get a scolding, but I didn't. Edie Brickle and the New Bohemians. Prince, just Prince and NPG. Slam, the soundtrack. And Trey Lorenz. And that is running. Just go live 12 hours a day, Kelsey, and then you can ship for 12 hours the next day. Just do it every other day. Pros, whatever that is, Frankie Paul, the Righteous Brothers, and Paolo Ricardo and RPM. And that's running. Devolutionator, I've never seen one of your shows, but I don't think I'm very entertaining either. But if you stay on long enough, there's a bunch of people that'll click through. But it's just you got to have the right mindset to be able to do it. My mind wanders and thinks I should be doing other things, and I get frustrated. 1 o'clock. Let me. I'll bookmark it and I'll try to remember to turn you on. The notifications on Whatnot are a bit crazy. I get notifications that people go live that I followed like 2 years ago and that I unfollowed. Right as Rain, New Riders of the Purple Sage, various artists around midnight, some sort of jazz compilation, and the Outer View George Russell Sextet. And that's running. Oh, Bishop, you could just co-host. I could just co-host you. You could craft while I did it. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, I'm gonna. Time is 10 after 8. I'm gonna go a little bit longer, but I gotta pee and refill my coffee. So what I'm gonna do? Who's leaving? Junkie. Thanks for coming, Junkie. Have a good day doing whatever fun stuff you're doing that's more fun than packaging. I'm gonna take a coffee break here, and I'm gonna run a giveaway. There's coupons, $1 and $2 off, and rewards coupons and all that. Feel free to make offers or use your coupons in the buy it now, or feel free to go somewhere else, or feel free to sit here and wait, um, or look through the pre-listed stuff and bid. I don't care. But I'm going to be back in a few minutes, but I got to refill my coffee. So it's a buyer Gibby, and that is running. I People love the pets. I like Bishu's shows when she whips out her guinea pig, and occasionally I've had Bubba on the camera, and for some reason you people like to give you tips when you have pets that are on the screen. Give me a few minutes, guys. I'm gonna go refill my coffee. The giveaway will be choice of those, and then I'll run them run the whole stack as choice after the giveaway. Thanks, Bishy. Congratulations, Cold Crush. Which one would you like? Malcolm X. Okay, thanks for picking. If you didn't pick, you were going to get a fat beach. You're going to get a fat beach anyway, I think. I remember. Oops. All right, now I'm going to run choice of those. I'll do 2 more giveaways right at the end. I'll probably go here another 15 or 20 minutes. What'd you say? You'll take Fat Beach instead. I'm going to run choice of that, and while it's running, I'll look and throw a Fat Beach in for you. Hey. I think I gave T's, I think it was T-Some, I gave several of them too. But they are nice cases. You can swap throw away the tape, and I don't know why I have so many of them. I probably have, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of them around here somewhere. So nobody wants any of those ones. Pull out that Manson family one. That's a pretty scarce one, I think. Pull out a few of those to list at some point, and I'll put the rest on the shelves. You're not finding collecting tapes as fun as you thought? I'm sorry. I'm not finding selling them as fun as I thought either. And I prefer the digital music that I push the button on my computer and it plays it. I'm a horrible salesman. 4 tops. The persuasions. Good news. Metropolitan presents Tasmania's Dancing Coast to Coast 3 and Steve Wariner. And that's running. Yeah, it's not a big deal, Mr. Bishy. You sent me that thing about the website, and I wasn't sure what if I was supposed to do something or. Welcome in, Comfort. We're doing choice of sealed cassette tapes. 65 TV themes from the 60s and 70s, Volume 5. Mad Parade contains 1 extra track not on the record. 1,000 Words. Ian Matthews and Nancy Wilson. And that is running. I'm a Josh as well, if you're a Josh. Thank you, York. Which one would you like? Mad Parade, thank you. My favorite television series is the Ohio Nurse Show. The Ohio Nurse Show on Whatnot. And I watch shows constantly. I've got all these devices going with shows on them all over the building. And when she's on, I usually have her on. And her husband's name is Josh. So I'll be listening while I'm working from across the room, and I'll hear my name, and I don't know whether she's talking about me or her husband. The 3 o'clock, 16 tambourines, the tragically hip, road apples, Tin Machine, and Jimmy Thackeray. And those ones are running. See, I don't have, my only pet name for butterfly is deer. And it started as kind of being kind of just joking, just saying deer. Whoops. And but that's what stuck. Sometime you'll have to tell us the backstory on the hobbles thing, if it's not X-rated and not gonna make her not gonna make Bishy have a meltdown. Human Touch, Bruce Springsteen, Southern Sun's Truth, Napalm Death, Fear, Emptiness, and Despair. Ooh, it's still sealed. And Northern Exposure, music from the television series. I don't know what I even have on it, Yorp. What price do I have on it? Thank you, Ghost. It's a $10 start to pre-bid. Well, then, if it's a $10 start to pre-bid, that must mean it's the cheapest one sold for about $30 on eBay. But you want me to run it for $5? I haven't. It's been on there a couple days and nobody's requested it. Alrighty. Grab that one. Yeah, there's one on eBay right now, $40. An unsealed one sold for 15, and that's the only one that has sold, and there's only one on there. Some of the oddball stuff I look up and put on there, but I'll run it for $5. Well, maybe I will. I'll have to figure out how to do that. I pinned it, so I think I got to go back in. So we'll run this one. Let me see if I can edit it. Alrighty, that should work. So that's running. Chemical People, Tenfold Hate. Oh, the belly button is obscured by her arm. Thank you, Yorp. Yeah, if you see stuff in there that you want me to run for less, tell me. If it's something I just list the day before, I'll probably wait a couple days, see if anybody else requests it for the starting bid. Because if it's not $5 for a start, that means I looked it up and it has significant retail value or resale value on eBay. I know this isn't eBay, but I'm trying to liquidate, but I'm trying to liquidate in a way that I have something to show for my mountain of mess that I have of albums. So we have some sort of classical up there: Tiger, The Claws of the Cat, The Gospel Brass, and Mambo X World, whatever that is. And that is running. Down with the King for 4. I can do that. And it's probably I probably have it in the buy now. Oh, you'd have to make an offer on the PC to get it down that low. I'll run that one. Still sealed. Run DMC, down with the King. Case is in nice condition too. And that one is running. Thank you, Cold Crush. Bootleg. Can I run that? And same deal. Still sealed. Nice case. And that one's running. Thank you. Keep it in the ground. That one's yours. And we got Tangerine Dream, Poland, the Warsaw Concert, Vintage Whispers, Phantom of the Opera soundtrack, and A Paralyzed Veteran's Home for the Holidays. And those are running. Welcome in. Just join me. We're doing choice of sealed cassette tapes. It's Bishy. Bishy, what time's the last show end tonight? Oh, so loud. New York Composers Orchestra, Nocturnal, Nothing But Hatred, Rounds, Rhymes, and Silly Songs, Dorothy Dino Rice. And Chris, what is that? Chris Kleeman, Sweet Home Ludlow. So those are running. And it starts at 6:30. Is that right, Bishy? Thank you, Skaboom. So if you guys are in here, give I'm gonna add I assume that's what everybody was bidding on, or the two people that bid. I'm gonna add Bessie's Blues to that. Mr. Blues. Poke on the Suburban Bish's little profile there and bookmark her show for tonight, the mini Train of Misfits, and I'll stop in and say hi and see what some of the people on her train are selling. I don't really know. I haven't looked. I should have looked better, but it's kind of a late edition. But there are. I'm going to be selling vinyl at 9:30. Mr. Bishy, I'm not sure what time he comes on. He's got some like Dungeons and Dragon dice, like collectible dice, and other things. John Tash, Grand Passion, Pitch Shifter versus Biohazard, Fiddler on the Roof, and Slick Lily Rituals. And those are running. You got into a fight with him in an elevator? Or a fight with him and an elevator? Like a physical altercation? Like punches were thrown? Oh, yeah? He's a dick. He always sort of looked like one. Did you know that going in before the fight and just decided I'm gonna start something with him just because he's a dick? Or tell us about it. And did you win? I'm guessing you either won or it was a draw. You probably wouldn't tell people you got in a fight with John Tesh if he kicked your ass. Well, all right. I'm done for today. We're going to do 2 giveaways. I'll do 2 giveaways and then I'll run choice of this one time and then we'll rate out. I've got to get ready for my show tomorrow. And I will be back on tonight at 9:30 with some sealed records. They're all unplayed. and I'm not quite sure what I have, but I'm going to run through them quick because I've got a half an hour slot before I raid out to somebody else in the mini train of misfits. So I'm going to run. I have 2 giveaways. I'm not going to let them run for the whole 5 minutes. So take a look at that and see if there's anything you want there. Just pulled out the last of that box that I was working on. So giveaway is running. Welcome in. I'm wrapping her up for the morning, and we're going to do 2 giveaways here, and then I'll try to get all this stuff packaged and out with the mailman today. If there's something you want, let me see if there's any offers on anything. No offers. And I said it before, but this is whatnot, so you repeat yourself over and over again. You kind of have to. But I think unless they changed it, you can make better offers on a PC, on the buy it now stuff. Kelsey, get in a giveaway if you want. I'm gonna do 2 of them here, and I'm gonna pull it real quick. We got 8 entries. And that is running. Congratulations, Super Kelsey. And Kelsey's going to be selling fall and winter apparel this afternoon if you want to check her out. Do you model the clothes, Kelsey? And that's Take the Corruption. The squirrel does. Probably rescheduling the show. You hate selling clothing. I haven't tried that. There's one of the ephemera sellers, which is one of the categories I usually sell in a lot before I started selling this music. She does clothes shows, and she does vintage clothes shows. And I've checked them out a couple times. I'm just not in the market for vintage clothes, but she models them, and she didn't sell too awful much the times I watched her, but she has some pretty nice shows. She just keeps changing in and out of outfits, and I like these shows where I can sit down. The shows where I have to stand up, it starts to get tedious. I can't imagine changing in and out of clothes for every item. All right, there's only 5 entries. There was 8 last time. I'm gonna pull it real quick. So if you want in, get in that last giveaway. And when I looked earlier, there was nobody selling. I'm gonna pull it, and then after whoever wins picks, Kelsey wins again. I'll run choice one time on the pile. Peter Murphy. Okay, I'm gonna do choice one time, and then we'll rate out. And there was nobody selling in this category because everybody else has some common sense and doesn't sell this early. The Gambit. I don't know. I was wondering that myself. I couldn't read it. Smokestack Lightning Blues Train. And that one was Victor Paul. So I'm going to run it one time. Want to go to the Gambit. All right, we'll rate out to the Gambit after I do choice on this. Choice of the whole stack. Now it's all blurry. So if you get a chance, check out the Suburban Bitches Mini Misfit Train today. It starts at 6:30 Eastern Time. I will be selling records for half an hour, sealed ones at 9:30 Eastern Time. $3 starts on the sealed records. It's vintage stuff. It's not new releases like you can go and get a new Taylor Swift one at Walmart or anything. There might be some Christmas ones in there. I'm not quite sure what all will be there. We're gonna rate out to the Gambit. Bishy says they're selling records. Thank you for coming, Cold and Ghost and Kelsey and Bolson and everybody. I will probably be back tomorrow for a little bit, but I have a antique show that I do at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'll be doing that at 10 tomorrow. Have a good day, guys.